my life. I am coming live for the second time today. Yes, that's how it's going to look. Time I come live immediately. Discuss the lots of things we need to talk about. That is why I am trying as much as possible to be available so we can talk about these things. Thank you so much. Just give me a moment to share my life.
With commission, you talk to us.
When you join my live, you do well to like the video and share it. Thank you so much for joining my live. When you join, you do well to like and share the video. All right. Life is a secret. Life is a secret. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about Blessing CEO 2. She is trending on social media. Remember, here on Contemporary Views, we discuss trending issues. We discuss everything that is making news on social media. Yes. So when you join in, do well to share the live. Do well to share the live. And then you like the video. Happy New Year. Happy New Year 2025. It's going to be a promising year. It's going to be a wonderful year. So many things will happen this year. I do not want stuff to take you by surprise. That is why I keep emphasizing. That is why I keep emphasizing about this year. So many things are going to be happening this year. So let's take caution. Remember, proper preparations prevent poor performances. So I'd like for myself and the people who follow me on my social media platforms not to be left out. Right now, I have my followers on YouTube and Facebook. I'm broadcasting simultaneously on 2 different platforms. So if you find me tilting to the left or tilting to the right, that is because I have engagements on both sides. Welcome to my live. My name is Gillian, and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trends. Everything that is trending on social media, be sure to find it here on Contemporary Views. Apart from that, we learn lessons. We learn everyday lessons on Contemporary. Thank you so much for joining. When you join, do well to like the video and tell me where you are joining in from. It is an interactive show, so I expect to hear or see where you are joining in from. Thank you so much. We will talk about Blessing CEO and IVD, but not just yet. Let's talk about something else first before we get into Blessing CEO's drama. She is the drama queen on social media. Everybody talks about her these days. That is because she is the queen of controversy. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about life. Earlier on, for those of you who watched my video, I talked about the new year, some things you should leave behind as far as the new year is concerned, and some things you can adopt as far as the new year is concerned. But then there is one important, very important and vital aspect that I left out. So I want to talk about that first before we go into Blessing CEO's drama on social media. Okay. Give me a moment to share my live, and then we go straight into the video. All right. All right, there you go. When I talk about life being a secret, that is coming from a place of experience. I have lived a couple of years in life, so I want to believe that when people who have experiences in life are talking about stuff in life, I think I can be a part of the group of people who can give you some advice as far as life is concerned. Now, when I say life na secret, I simply mean that life is a mystery. Life na secret means say no be all thing wey person get to talk for life. You need to leave some things in the quiet. Some things need to be private. But with the emergence of content creation and the money that is involved in content creation, so many people no longer have privacy. So many people no longer know when and when not to bring their issues on social media. So many people don't know what they should tell other people or what they shouldn't tell other people. As a human being, you should have some secrets. Not everything is allowed for you to discuss with people. I'd like for you to know that that is the main reason why people fail these days. Many people fail these days because they announce their successes before time. They go out to tell people their plans. Most of the time, when you tell unnecessary people your plans, it never works out. That plan never comes to fruition. You find out that that plan dies prematurely, but people keep making these same mistakes. You want everybody to know what is going on in your side, in your area. You want everybody to know how far you are doing in life. You want everybody to appreciate the things that go on around you. But what you do not know is sometimes it is not necessary for people to know your plans because life is a mystery. I don't want to call some people up. I don't want to name anybody. I don't want to make mention of any particular cases. But you and I know of cases where people have lost certain things in life just because they were quick to announce their successes. You plan to do something, you have not yet succeeded in that thing, but the whole world already knows what your plans are. There's a high probability for that plan to fail. And that is something that I want you to reflect on as you begin this year 2025. You should reflect, have a reflection about you not announcing your plans before fruition. You will always have that challenge. You will always have that pain. You will always have that disgrace. You would always face that because it is normal in life to be silent sometimes. Most of you out there, the problems that you face in life is your mouth. You don't know when to shut the hell up. You see that gutter in your face you call mouth? There are times when you should shut it up. There are times when you should stay quiet. Not everybody must know your plans. Life is a secret, but some people still fail in life just because they have a loud mouth, just because they can't go as far as staying quiet, just for the period of time they need to plan. They want to talk all the time. Now, there is this thing that is ongoing. People wanting to know where your riches are coming from. When people are poor, do you know that nobody ever wants to know why someone is poor? Nobody goes out there to investigate why this person is poor, why this person is not doing well in life. Nobody goes out there to investigate. Everybody is just so content at their end. They find they don't want to, mingle. They don't want to mix. They just want to stay. Nobody always or nobody ever goes out there to ask questions why you are not doing well in life. Now, when you begin to do well in life, when things begin to happen for you in life, what makes you feel that it is correct or it is okay for you to begin to dish out the information about your riches, to dish out the information about your successes? Most of you fail even before you start just because you have a loud mouth. You want to talk, you want to let people know. You begin to see yourself succeeding. You begin to see yourself at the finish line when the race hasn't even begun. This is an idea that you should take out from your mindset if you really want to succeed this 2025. Announcing your successes prematurely before they occur, before you even work for it, will only make you stay in the same position that you are finding yourself today. And for some of you who are getting this thing wrong, you see failure. Failure is a process. Before you succeed in anything, you fail first. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is not the opposite of success. I don't know why people cannot fathom the fact that failure is like the process. Failure is like something that leads you to success. Many people think that when they have not made it to where they want to in life, they are not succeeding. They have not succeeded, as a matter of fact. Failure is not the opposite of success. And when you succeed or when you plan to succeed, there's a powerful instrument you should use: silence. Sometimes you feel that when you keep quiet, you're being rude. No. Silence is an answer. Silence is a response. Powerful people keep silent. Successful people keep silent. They don't talk too much. If you doubt that, go to the bank. You would not hear people shouting in the bank. Go to the market. You know the difference. In the market, everybody is chit-chatting. Some people are shouting. People are calling out others. People are arguing. But in a bank, that's a financial institution, you would hear no noise. That is because success does not attract noise. Success does not flow with noise. So beginning this year, learn to stay mute in some things. When you plan, when you work on, when you run the race, learn to shut up. We know of people who just got their visas and then they wanted to travel out of the country but ended up not traveling just because they came out to make an announcement. I am not saying that you should not tell people about your plans. I am not saying that you should not discuss with friends about some of the things that you want to do in your life. You should, but you should also be mindful of the people. Not everybody likes you. Not everybody appreciates you. Not everybody wants you to succeed. Yes. If you do not know, actually, the only two people in this life who have, say, 75 to 80% truly deep down in them who want you to succeed are your parents. Listen again. The only two people who may have up to 75 or 80% willingness for you to succeed are your parents. Aside from these two people, no other person really cares about your successes in life. The rest of the people, they are just there for interest. Whether you like it or not, no two people come together in anything, call it anything, in a school, in a marriage, in a meeting, in a union, anything, without one party having an interest. Just deal with that. Just go and think about it. I am not here to argue that fact with you, but just know that as far as human beings are concerned, when they have to come together There is an interest. The only two people who may want you to succeed in this world without having any interest are your parents. That is your father and your mother. We can have very loyal and trustworthy friends, but do not forget the world we live in today. Do not forget the world we live in today. Even siblings sometimes cannot be friendly. Even your siblings, I mean your brothers and sisters from the same loins, sometimes they cannot be trustworthy. Now the point is, not every plan that you make or you have in mind, you should go ahead and make it public. You don't need to tell people stuff. Life na secret. Life is a mystery. If you want to succeed in life, choose the things you make public. Choose the things you tell people. Naturally, human beings are envious. Naturally, they are envious. They just want to have that thing that you have. They just want to be in that place that you. They just don't have this natural ability to appreciate without feeling jealous at some point. So if you already understand this, why then do you open up and give yourself to people who may either destroy you or break you or spoil your plans? Everybody is on social media. Everybody wants to publicize their relationships, their families, their successes, their growth, and every other thing you can imagine on social media. But most of the times, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. You can celebrate your successes, but until you have succeeded, then you can celebrate your successes. What I am advising you to do is to keep away the process to your success. Keep it away from human eye. People can be laughing with you today, they're smiling with you today, but they are not happy when you move, when you progress. Nobody wants you to be at the same level with them. Whether you like it or not, I'm just telling you the fact. Most of the time, they feel okay when they are above you. It takes the grace of God for you to meet people who want for you to be on the same level with them, just like that. Just like that. It takes the grace of God to achieve that. But some of you out there, you will still doubt that and you will still not believe. But I am not here to pamper your ego. I am just here to inform you that some of your processes, when you are working for success, are supposed to be kept private. Now, someone had asked me a question that, in as much as life is a secret or life is a mystery, why do people fail in life? There are many reasons why people fail in life, but I am just going to give you a few that I have been thinking of for some time now. Now, the first reason why I think people take exams, right? When you plan, there's no way you're going to fail. When you prepare, when you plan, there's a high probability for you to succeed in whatever thing you plan to do. So most of the time, people fail because they don't plan properly. They don't. They just find themselves doing things. Look at some of our social media people. Some of them just caught up fame. They just found themselves in fame suddenly. And you can agree with me that those people who just found fame just like that, some of them are unable to manage their newly found fame. For the fame to be a blessing to them, it is rather a curse in a way. I am not saying that this actually happens to everyone, but you can see that some people who newly found fame cannot manage the newly found fame, and this has brought them pain rather than joy. Now, another reason why I feel that in as much as life is a mystery or in as much as life is a secret, some people still fail because of unrealistic expectations. Now, some of you go into business and then you want to grow overnight. That is why some of you are being duped even on social media, where somebody tells you to invest 10 million, 1 million, and then get 10 million in 2 weeks. There is no way that's going to happen. Always have that at the back of your mind. There is a room for growth. There is a room for growth in anything you do. It's a process, and in that process there is room for growth. So if you have unrealistic expectations, there's no way you're going to make it. You will surely fail, because everything in life is a process. Now, the third reason why I think that some people fail, in as much as they keep their stuff private, they are not able to take risks. Anybody who has made it so far in life, I mean, this life we are living in, has been able to take some level of risks. If you cannot pay, if you cannot, no pain, no gain. So if you cannot go through the pain, be sure not to have any gains. If you cannot bear risks, there's no way. And now back to what I earlier said. You see, failure is a process. Some people fail not because they are not good enough. They fail because failure is the process. You must pass through that process to be able to succeed. So understand that, know that, and have peace. Some of you may also fail because it is the natural path of growth. You don't just expect to win all battles that you fight. You don't just expect to have everything that you want. You don't just expect to excel in everything that you do. No. You don't just excel just like that. In all of this, what I have to tell you right now is life is a secret. Life is a mystery. You better not expose everything that you want to do in life. Be mindful of the people that you expose things to, because not everybody is going to appreciate the things that are happening to you in your life. Not everybody is going to appreciate that. So you should know that and have peace of mind, okay? Whenever I remember anything that I have, like a piece of advice to tell you, no matter the video I am about to do, I am going to drop that piece of advice, because we will only grow if we begin to understand and change the things that did not make us succeed last year, 2 years back, 5 years back, and stuff. So I want to say a big thank you for all of you who are joining in now on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining my live. My name is Jillian, and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trends. We talk about news, trending issues, anything that is trending on social media. Be sure to find it here on Contemporary Views. Now, tonight, let's talk about Blessing CEO and IVD. Blessing CEO is a Nigerian content creator and influencer. Yes, she is the queen of controversy, and right now, Blessing CEO is trending on social media. People are frying her ass out. They are fighting her black and blue. So let us find out why Blessing CEO is being roasted on social media today, yesterday, 2 days back. Let's find out what actually happened. Now, just a brief introduction for those of you who don't know who Blessing CEO is. Blessing CEO, she's of Nigerian nationality. Yes, she is an influencer in Nigeria. She has brands under her belt. She also has a social media platform. Her social media presence is very heavy. She's actually very popular. But she is most famous for what actually made her famous. Yes. That is Blessing some years back claiming a house to be hers. She actually went in front of that house, made a video and telling the world that in as much as she's a small girl with a big God, and that she's doing massive things, big things of her own, and that the house you see right behind her is her house that she's been building, and she didn't want to let it out so people find out. But in as much as people are just talking anyhow to her, talking down at her, so she had to, bring the video of her house so that people can start respecting her. Okay. This came with a lot of congratulations. So many people were happy seeing a young girl in her early 20s, struggling, hustling, and then she's building a duplex and stuff. So many people so many people were happy and then they congratulated her. Now, this video went viral. So many people got to watch the video all over the world, up until the real owner of that house got to see that video, and this made him mad. That is how he flew back to Nigeria and then looked for Blessing CEO. And when he saw Blessing CEO, oh my God, the scene was a nasty one. Yeah. This guy humiliated Blessing CEO to the moon and back. He made her sit on the floor. He put her in handcuffs. He insulted her. He embarrassed her. He made her retract the statement of her being the owner of that mansion. Record it. You can imagine you recording someone telling the world that I lied. This house is not my house. I was just doing this for fame, for clout. I was just doing this to have my followers, congratulate me. But the real essence is this house doesn't even belong to me. I lied. And social media broke into two. Before that time, we had never seen something like that. That was the peak of fake life. Many people out there, they do stuff, they fake stuff, but that was the peak of fake life. Being caught on the act and then being asked to retract your statements, the things that you have said that are not true, publicly, on camera, with handcuffs on your hands. That was it for Blessing CEO, and that is how she was locked up, and then a couple of days after investigations and stuff, and then she was freed. But the videos were aired, and that has been her biggest embarrassment in life and her biggest shame. Now, when she was released, Blessing CEO now went on live and began to cry and was telling the world how ashamed she is, and that people have been bashing her, that people have been hurting her feelings, and that she wanted to do away with herself, that she no longer wanted to live, that life is no longer fruitful, life is no longer enjoyable. She feels so embarrassed and stuff, and that she was going to delete herself from this world just to be able to curb the shame. That's social media for you. So when on that same live, I think maybe 3-4 years back, I was on that live. I saw her live when she was saying all those things, and then people came under the comment section and they were begging her not to delete herself, that things like that happen all the time, that in as much as she's feeling embarrassed, she can still make it up. She can still live. Everybody can face challenges like that in life, but trying to delete yourself is not the best thing to do, and that she can still clean up her past and then have a better life. And then her family had to seek the help of doctors and therapists who saw her through. But I didn't think she was even serious, because when you look at the woman she has become today, you would know that what she did in the past, she was just bluffing and then struggling to seek public validation. It was shameful. It was very embarrassing that you come out to tell the world that this property belongs to you. Meanwhile, it is not your house. You're just pretending. You are just lying publicly. So that's how Blessing CEO spew into fame. But for other reasons that I may not be able to mention here, because I am really not sure, and I am not going to give you unverified information on this platform. I also know that Blessing CEO does a lot of videos, very, very controversial videos. She says she is a therapist, break and make up therapist, a relationship and love expert. So she does lots of content around those topics around marriages, dating, breakup. She gives a lot of tips which are very, very controversial. So she is also very famous and popular for that. If you go as far as clicking on if you go to Google to search that, I am sure if you click if you type relationship experts in Africa, you're going to see Blessing CEO there. From time to time, she used to show us certificates. She used to brand documents and tell us that she has been trained and stuff. I can't question that, but we all have seen her do that. And then she also had a lounge, something like that. She had break and make up lounge, yes, where she publicly received people for counseling and other things. I think there was a barber shop in there. There were other things in there. So I can say that she's famous for many, many reasons. She's been on the news for many, many, many reasons. Yes. So, but this time around, she is being fried. Let me call it that way. Permit me to say that she is being fried because she proclaimed love to IVD and IVD did same. Now, there is a strong history behind these two people. I have just given you a rundown of who Blessing CEO is. Thank you all so much for joining my live. My name is Jillian and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trends, and today we're talking about Blessing CEO because she is trending. Since 2 to 3 days now, she's been bashed on social media. So I am bringing you the tea as fresh as it is. So now let's go back to the topic. Behind these two people, Blessing CEO and IVD, there is a strong history. I already gave you a rundown of who Blessing CEO is, and now I am going to delve into who IVD is. Now, IVD, maybe 2 3 years back, IVD became very, very famous on social media for a very negative reason. IVD was married and then he lost his wife through domestic violence, allegedly, and it became news. Why was it news? It was news because so many things happened during their marriage, and then everything began to come on social media when videos of IVD and his late wife Bimbo began to fight. When they fought, they said nasty things to each other, and then these videos were being recorded, and then some of these videos met us here on the internet space. Yes. So that is why I am going to explain everything to you that I know. I am just giving you a reported speech here. So it is said that IVD and Bimbo were lovers from a very, very young age. I don't know which numbers to put in there, but maybe between 15, 16, 17 or so. So Bimbo, who is the wife, the late wife of IVD, was coming from a rich home and is of Yoruba descent. IVD, who is of Igbo descent, is coming from a not so rich home. So Bimbo and her family were doing fine. IVD's family and IVD were not doing fine. So now a young girl from a rich family falls in love with a young man who is struggling in life and decides to give up her all for the man that she likes. All right. She gives IVD everything that IVD ever wanted, even as she went as far as, helping IVD to pay his school fees and stuff. That she'll collect money from her parents and then hand it over to her boyfriend to pay through education. Meanwhile, she was not going to school. She so much believed in the man in her life such that she was willing to give up everything for him. Now, a teenage pregnancy happened, and the family of the girl, Bimbo, did not even know that she was pregnant, but she kept collecting money from her family that she was using it for school and stuff. And then, unfortunately, she was not going to school, and their family somehow along the line get to discover that she was actually not going to school. That is how things began to change for her. Her family had to start fighting the man who is responsible for all of this, but she was stern and she left her family because of this same man. When her parents saw that they could not separate her from her boyfriend, they rather gave in their support. So they started supporting the young couple. So that is how she gave birth to her first child and subsequently four other children, if I am not mistaken. Before she passed on to glory, she had five children with her husband, IVD. But it is said that, for what I've already told you now, Bimbo did a lot more sacrifices for her relationship. For instance, all of this information on social media, they are not verified, but I'll just give you the hearsay version that I know. Okay? So it is said that there's this particular ritual that Bimbo had to do that was going to make IVD wealthy, and they believed in that. Okay, that from time to time she goes nuts just because she needs to do a renewal. It's like she was the main sacrifice for whatever they did so that her husband could prosper. So in that light, this man prospered. Now let me digress a bit. Personally, I do not believe in all of those things. I believe in hard work. When you work hard and you work smart, things begin to change for you. So that is what I believe. So I am not questioning what is said on social media. I am just narrating the versions that were available that time. So they said that Bimbo was like the sacrifice that IVD used, both of them, Bimbo and her husband IVD, used for him to be successful, and that will make her go nuts maybe in a week or two every year, and then after that she'll be fine again and stuff. Well, I really don't know how true that is, but to me it doesn't really sit well. But in the nutshell, IVD became a very wealthy car dealer. He had a dealership in Nigeria. He's doing so well. He had a lot of money. He was a big boy in town, or he is a big boy in town. Every woman's dream. You know, when men are poor, there will not be many women spec. But when they become rich, when they become the happening men in town, they now become the women spec. You know, the women begin to, want to meet that man, want to know him better, want to be in his life. They start sticking their necks into his home, if it's possible. They want to have something to do with that man just because the man is doing well. So this happened around IVD. I do not have any information if he was an unfaithful husband, but it is said that he was unfaithful and couple of other things, lots of other things. And being that his wife was usually not happy, and then they would always fight at home. It is also said that the woman was very violent. If she finds out that her husband is dating someone, she's the type that will go out to fight with you in public. She doesn't care. She fights with you over her husband. She doesn't want to be the calm type who is left at home. So the long and short of it is they had a very abusive marriage. It wasn't like any ordinary marriage out there, because I understand that people argue in their marriages, people fight in their marriages. There's no relationship without turmoil, there's no relationship without difficult moments, but the end point is, in as much as you fight in your relationships, there's always that level ground, there's always that midpoint where the two parties can meet. So it happened over the years in IVD and Bimbo's relationship. And then unfortunately, one day, that meeting point could not be met and disaster occurred. Videos were taken of the incident, though in bits and pieces. And if you have to put those videos together, you would be able to depict, I am not saying for sure, you will be able to depict, or you'll be able to assume something happened. You'll be able to see that something actually happened. In some of those videos, you would see him telling her not to scatter the house, and that she's not going to get any documents, that the documents cannot be found. There is another video wherein you hear IVD screaming loudly and saying that she has taken my documents. She has taken my documents. Give back my documents. You can't live with those documents. And then there was a scuffle, and then that video ended. We don't know what transpired. We don't know what happened. But actually, there are video evidences of people fighting over a certain kind of document. Now, it is said that it was during that time that her husband had collected the documents from her. Now, let me slow down here. Let me slow down here. When investigations were going on, their night watchman was interviewed, and he was asked, and this is what he said. He said that he was at the gate, and Madam came. Madam came with a carpenter, something like that, and then went upstairs with the carpenter and asked the carpenter to break the safe. When the carpenter broke the safe, she collected the documents that were inside the safe, and her husband happened to meet her there. Her husband fought with her to collect the documents, because they were all the documents of all the assets and properties that this man had. So he succeeded to collect all the documents from her. So, being frustrated that the documents had been taken away from her, she started fighting her husband. This is a normal thing they would always do in their house. They always fought, because even after she passed on to glory, her husband made interviews and said that they fought all the times. Now, it was in this fight, that unfaithful day, that Bimbo threatened to use gasoline on herself, to start a fire on herself. I don't know what was in the mind of that man. I don't know if the man was present at the scene, but it is said that she threatened him to use gasoline on herself, and he did not stop her from doing so. And she actually used gasoline on herself and set up everything on flames. Because of community guidelines, there are some things, or there are some words I cannot really freely tell you how it transpired, but she used gasoline on herself, and then she started a fire, and that fire took her life. That's it. That's how the wife of IVD passed on 3 years ago. So when she was rushed to the hospital, it looked like she was still fighting for her life, but eventually the burns were too many. She succumbed to her burns, and that was the end of Bimbo. So IVD was incarcerated for a couple of months. He was locked up, and investigations were carried out. Now, this is where Blessing CEO now surfaced in this IVD and Bimbo matter. She claimed to be the therapist. Remember, I told you earlier that Blessing CEO says she is a relationship expert and love expert. So when this incident happened, she reached out to IVD and then proposed her services to him, since at the time he was broken, he was demoralized, someone who had just lost his wife, someone who had just lost his marriage, someone who is trending on social media for the worst ever reasons, someone whose life is about to end. Let me put it that way. So Blessing CEO said that she reached out to IVD and then began to have therapy sessions with him, so that he can forget whatsoever the traumas he had gone through at that time. So it is said that during the therapy sessions, there were some things that were not sitting on well. For instance, a video had popped out on Valentine's Day that same year, wherein um, IVD's hand was seen with a tattoo of CEO. And at that time, a lot of information was going on around a Blessing CEO having a relationship with IVD. So when that video popped up on social media, people began to speculate that Blessing CEO was having an affair with somebody who just deleted his wife, because he's been accused at the time that he deleted his wife, and that the case is still in court, and then Blessing CEO is now having something to do with that person. So it was hot on social media at that time, but then the news began to die out because there were really no solid proof. Blessing CEO is somebody who is very vocal, who is very present on social media. Anything going on around a Blessing CEO is making news. Very seriously, it's making news. So uh, many people just kept quiet. Many people just kept quiet, as any information on social media is just a couple of weeks or maybe days, the information will die out. So people, based on that, people just let Blessing be. But little did we know that, in as much as we are trying to let the matter die down, Blessing had to do a movie. For those of you who have not watched that movie is on it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, on Blessing CEO's platform on YouTube. I understand that when this matter was still very trendy, her pages were reported. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. They reported her until a couple of her pages were taken down. She lost most of her social media handles. Most of her social media platforms were deleted, were banned. So I don't know if that video is still very much available, but I watched that video. It's a series. That series has, I think, is it 9 episodes or so? Yeah, something like that. In that series, Blessing CEO was the lead actress. In that movie, she was the lead actress, and she played out the narrative that IVD had given to the world about who his wife Bimbo was, how they met, how the wife, how she supported him, how they had their children, how she was a violent person, even how she died. Everything was exposed in that video. Now, that's where so many people really got annoyed with IVD, that this is the height of it. Even the family of Bimbo at the time had to sue Blessing CEO. So many court cases against Blessing CEO. She was even taken to court, and it was made public. She was incarcerated at Kirikiri there for like 1 whole month. She was in jail just because of that. And then she was asked not to publicly talk about the deceased lady, because she came out to publicly support IVD, that he's right. No woman should compel you to stay in a relationship you don't want to, and that if you get deleted in the course of you not wanting the man to be free from you, it is okay. She supported this man tooth and nail. That time she did all her content only on this story. She dragged a woman who had already gone to the world beyond, as though this woman could come out someday to talk about her own side of the story. It was Blessing CEO's main content that period. Every day she comes online during her live session, during her recorded videos, during her skits. Everything was only about Bimbo at the time. So many people were not happy about this. Bimbo's sisters had to talk about it on social media. She would not stop, so they had to go to the police, and then they sued Blessing CEO to court, and then she was incarcerated and then asked a huge bail that she could not pay. That is how she spent 1 whole month in Kirikiri. And when she came out, she was a new version. She was a new person. And then people mocked her because they felt that their relationship had ended due to social media pressure and other things. But that was not so. That was not so. During this challenge of suspect, everybody, you just find someone you're friendly with and then you do the suspect challenge. It is suspected that during the suspect challenge that Blessing CEO did, she did house with IVD. And you could hear IVD saying loudly that suspect, claiming to be a relationship therapist, a love therapist. She doesn't have a relationship. And that the first day he came to the suspect's office, he had sex with her in her office. That she'll be claiming she's a good girl, she has a good background, she's decent, she's educating people on social media, but she really is not what she's painting to the world. Imagine how embarrassing that was. But Blessing CEO still went ahead to post her challenge, her suspect challenge. So now that brought back the suspicion that she eventually had something to do with. Turn the lights on. That she had something to do with IVD. So people began to suspect again. And now, before you know it, is it on the 31st or on the 1st? Information got to social media. People screenshot Blessing CEO's message to IVD and that of IVD to Blessing CEO, both of them professing love to each other. Wow, isn't that amazing? This did not sit well with Bimbo supporters. This did not sit well with social media in-laws, those people who have been saying that she has something to do with this person, but people will just not agree. Some people are saying that she's mean, she's evil, blah, 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 blah. She's been supporting Judy Austin all along, that Judy Austin has right to do whatever she's doing with Yule Doche, and that if May doesn't want to be numbered, she can stay. As far as she's concerned, Judy is not doing anything wrong. That Yule Doche is an Igbo man, and an Igbo man has right to marry more than one wife. Now, la voila. So people now had reasons now why Blessing CEO was very supportive of and Judy Austin in the case of Yule Edochie and May Edochie. So now it's her turn. She's been roasted on social media. So you were supporting Judy Austin just because you are planning or you are actually doing the same thing that Judy Austin is doing. But now the difference is the wife of IVD is of blessed memory. She passed on 3 years ago. And I want to believe that 3 years is enough time for a man to mourn his wife. It's enough time for a man to mourn his wife before having another relationship with another woman. So it is about time. It is about time for him to move on with his life. Yes, he has mourned his late wife for 3 years. But social media in-laws will not just let Blessing CEO be. There are two camps on social media now. People who are totally against Blessing CEO and they are cursing her for being the reason why this man had to, delete his wife, because some people accused him of doing so because they say when the woman put herself on fire, he was there and he allowed her to burn. He didn't stop her from doing that. That is because he wanted to be free from her. Some other people are saying that in as much as Blessing was very provocative to that family, to the family who lost their daughter, she even went ahead to do a movie. That shouldn't have been the perfect choice of a girlfriend or a woman for IVD. So, and that IVD should not take a Blessing for a girlfriend or a wife or anything. But Blessing CEO will just not let people be. You know, she's the queen of controversy. Now she had to make a video and then actually telling people who had doubts that no, we are done with the doubts. We no longer should stay in that lane. It is actually happening, and that she's dating this man and they have plans of getting married really soon, and that she's inviting people to her village if they want to come, that they should not be bothered about the roads to her village, that her village has tarred roads and everybody is invited to their wedding that is going to happen. Now, as always, I'll give you my own point of view, okay? Personally, I think that 3 years is enough time for anybody to mourn their spouses. Yes. IVD has done well. Maybe if he had relationship with her, with Blessing CEO, even before his wife's demise, he kept that out of public sight. He never came out to claim that he has something to do with her. Mind you, it is only Blessing CEO who has come out to affirm that yes, there's something going on, but there are shots or there are videos, there are screenshots of messages that IVD posted on social media on his platform, praising his wife, his woman who is Blessing CEO, and telling her some nice things and then wishing her 2025 happy 2025. Yeah, so there's that screenshot out there, but Blessing CEO has a video telling everybody that yes, actually this is what is going on. So if IVD gave 3 years to mourning his wife, I think it is fair enough. His wife is already dead. He's still alive. He needs to move on with his life, and he still has to live for his children. Remember that the children already lost their mother. It will not be too good if their father is not keeping up well. Their father should be able to be there. He should be able to keep himself to be there for the children, at least for the sake of the children. Now, I also think that you cannot tell a grown-up man who he should be in relationship with. This one goes to the people who say that even if Blessing CEO is the last woman on earth, IVD should not be with him. No, you can't choose a wife or a girlfriend or a woman for any grown-up man. Only that man knows what that woman has that attracts him to her. So you cannot choose a spouse for anybody, especially for a grown-up man who has been in marriage for many years before now. So you cannot tell him who he's supposed to be in relationship with. Now, for those of you who say that the very broom that was used to kick the first wife out, that broom will be used to kick the second wife out as well, and that they are cursing Blessing CEO that she's not going to have a home, she's not going to have a settled home, and that all the things that she's looking for in this life she will not get, she will not be blessed and stuff. Well, I have a bit of reservations about all of that. I have a reservation about all of that. You see, everybody in life deserves a second chance, including Blessing CEO. It is more dignifying for a widower to marry a widow. Nobody has proof that Blessing was dating IVD while he was still married to his wife. There's no proof about that. It's a possibility, but there's no proof about that. But if the two of them now have to come public with their relationship, I want to believe that it is decent, it is dignifying for the two to come out that they have a relationship or something. All right. So Blessing CEO is not making any mistake there. And for those of you cursing her, your curses have nothing to do with her. You cannot teach a grown-up woman how to live her life. She has chosen IVD. IVD also has chosen Blessing CEO. The only thing you can do is just to wish them well. They are both adults. They are the IVD is a widower. IVD is a widower, and Blessing CEO is a divorcee. Pardon me. I earlier said she's a divorcee. She's a divorcee. She had gotten married before, and then she got divorced many years ago. So I think it's a level ground for the two to come together. So those of you cursing her, there's no room for that. I don't think you should be cursing her. At least she respected this man, gave him time to mourn his late wife, in as much as she did not respect the memories of his wife, because Blessing did something very heartless, very bizarre. She actually came out to do a movie. She played the role of Bimbo for the public to see. That is the version IVD gave, and of which the family of this woman, they were not happy about it. That is gross disrespect to the dead. Even if that person did something bad to you, that's not the way you take it out on them, especially if they no longer exist in this world. And I want to believe that the children of this woman will not be happy with Blessing CEO when they grow old. You need to watch the video I'm talking about. It's on her channel, Blessing CEO TV. I think, yes, on YouTube. I watched the video that time when she did it 3 years back. That's something very heartless that she did to Bimbo, and it's a shame. So for me, I think she has right to date whoever she wants to date. She has right to be with whoever she wants to be, especially if she is not doing any wrong to anyone. Guys, so many calls coming in. I have so many other engagements. Thank you all so much for watching my live. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you're just joining in now. My name is Jillian, and this is Contemporary Views. If you didn't watch the video from the beginning, I advise you to do so, because I gave some very interesting tips from the beginning concerning 2025, how, we can live life. Life is a secret, like I said from the beginning of this video. You can go back and watch it if you didn't watch from the beginning. I just want to say thank you all for those of you watching live. For those of you who are going to watch later, thank you so much. See you on my next live. Bye YouTube. Bye Facebook.